Hey guys, it's Jeff here once again with Entrepreneur Essentials here at T-Werx, and I have my friend Kyle here with Local Eat and Drink.
Yes, sir.
And he is a local business owner who started his show up here in 2014, and we'll learn a little bit about that. Local guy, was out here before the Grubhubs and the Uber Eats and all that stuff, so you're going to want to learn about this because this is a guy that created his own company, stays in our local market, delivers from our local restaurants here in Cedar Park. So we need to support these type of businesses in our community. Once again, right down below me is our subscription button. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I'd encourage it because these things come out once a week and you want to make sure that you get them in your email box as soon as possible. In addition to that, all the show notes for today will be down below me. That will be all links to their websites and everything else will be in there. So looking forward to having you guys come out here every week. We're all about local business. We're all about talking about entrepreneurship here. Kyle, tell me about your entrepreneurial journey.
So it actually started probably 4 years before
Okay.
I did Local Eat and Drink. I had a program called Local E-Perks, and it was basically a marketing program and a tool that I got local businesses to participate in. They paid me to market their business, and I'd send out an email blast every month, and it would feature offers from all these businesses. And I think at the biggest point I had like 35 different businesses, whether it was
Okay.
chiropractors, dentists, restaurants. So I started doing that and I saw really good results. I enjoyed doing that. I did that for about 4 years. And then I kind of transitioned into the food delivery. In doing that, I saw that there was a need in the area, living out here for the last 17 years, understanding the demographics and how everything is set up. There weren't, like you said, there weren't a lot of delivery services at that time. So I said, let's try it out and let's see what we could do. I did some research and found, some companies that do it nationally that work with local businesses. So I got it set up back in 2014, and it's been a roller coaster ride, but it's been an adventure that I wouldn't trade for anything. It's so much fun. It allows me so much freedom to be participating in things with my kids, picking them up from school, doing different things. It's not without its difficulties and challenges, of course.
That's entrepreneurship, yeah.
Yeah, but the rewards far and away outweigh any negatives that I can think of.
That's fantastic. So talk a little bit about the service. How is it compared to, let's say, a Grubhub or an Uber Eats? That
Sure.
type of stuff?
Well, so I know in those there's multiple differences, but a couple of the top points to discuss is we're going to take care of our customers. I had someone just the other day say that they had tried Uber or one of the other services, and when they messed up the order, they said, we'll give you a credit for the next time. I make sure that if we mess up, we're going to go back and get that order, redeliver it to the customer, and I'm going to give them a discount anyway. Because I'm all about customer experience. And I worked at Dell for 6 years way back when, and that was always the big thing that stuck with me from Dell was customer experience. And I want to make sure that the customer experience is exactly the way the customer expects it when they order from us. So that's one way. Another way is, I know some of them have these surcharges, like when it's a busy time, like a Friday night, they mark up their food like $15. And that it blows me away that people would pay that, but I guess they do. But we don't do anything like that. It's a $5.99 flat delivery fee, whether it's a business of 50 or it's a house of 2.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I wanted to keep it simple when I started it. And so we actually have 3 delivery zip codes, 78641, 78613, and 717. So Avery Ranch, Leander, and Cedar Park. And so that's one really key thing that differentiates us between the Grubhubs and Uber Eats. When you order from us, you're in those 3 zip codes. You're going to get your food within an hour, provided the restaurant's on a long delay.
Yeah, well, you don't have that control.
I can't control that, right. But we're not going to be picking up food from restaurants in Austin or Round Rock. We're picking them up from this immediate area.
Yeah.
And so that allows us to get it to those customers in a timely manner.
Yeah.
So that's
and it'll be
always
hot
That's
versus,
right.
yeah.
And that's another thing is I'm going to make sure that my drivers get to the restaurant and the food comes out after they're there. The food is never supposed to come out before the driver gets there, because I'm always thinking about, what do I want?
Yeah.
I want food that's fresh and hot and within an hour. And what I've always told my drivers is, if you think about it, the customer's not going to be upset if the food gets there in an hour and 15 minutes. But they're going to remember if it's cold, if it's something missing. So make sure we can be a little late, but let's make sure that we get it accurate and that it's fresh and hot. So right when that food comes out, you go to the customer.
Absolutely. So what's so you've got the flat fee pricing model. Now, do you get a discount on the food, or how does that work?
I get a percentage from the restaurants, and that's pretty standard for all those delivery services.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to a restaurant owner one time, and he was doing, he has Uber Eats deliver.
Right.
And he's like, I never realized I went into partnership with Uber Eats. I mean, they take a big cut.
We don't. I can tell you, I just know we don't do as much.
Yeah.
Because again, I've thought about it from the perspective of, I want to work with these small businesses that are in my community.
They don't have a whole lot of margin a lot of times.
They don't have a lot of margin to clear. And I don't want it to be adversarial from the get-go and then feeling like I'm ripping them off. So we have an agreeable discount.
Awesome.
And it's something that, again, I'm always thinking from a small business standpoint, because I am that small business.
Absolutely.
I'm working with small businesses. I know all the owners of all these restaurants because we've had relationships for 3-4 years since I started the business. So I want to be fair to them because I know that they'll be fair to me.
Well, and I would say, my take on what you're telling me is you're also a local business owner. So when somebody is, the person who's making the decision of, okay, we're going to credit back, or, we're going to get the food back out, is you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
you're the end all to end all. It's not some nameless, faceless corporation from San Francisco or something like that.
No, and that's another thing. If we do make a mistake, I always try to send an email that evening to the customer. And I'll give them my full name and give them my cell phone. If they have any issues, you call me.
Yeah.
Because again, I want that personal touch, because that's what differentiates me from those other guys, is because you're not going to get a call. I know one of the services, they place the orders from California. So, I'm sitting in my house, in my office in Cedar Park, Texas, doing my thing, and that's all I'm focused on. I'm focused on taking care of my customers, making sure my drivers get the food and get it to the customers on time. And you're going to get that personal touch whenever you get a place an order with us.
So how is that, as competition is increased, how have you handled that?
Well, so, it was a challenge probably the last year. I've noticed a little dip in sales, or actually it was pretty stagnant in reality. And so in seeing that, it challenged me to go out and be creative. So I've formed partnerships with the schools. I have programs with businesses where I'm giving them gift certificates that they can give out to their staff and employees as a rewards program. And then, just working with the local fire department and local police department, giving them free delivery. In schools, Leander ISD, they've had free delivery the entire year.
Nice.
So $5.99. Because I know, and you see it on the news now with all the teachers that are striking around the country because they struggle. They have to work 2 and 3 jobs. And why not give them a little $5.99 discount to help them?
It's not much out of your pocket, but it's a great way to, it's a great goodwill.
That's it. It's exactly goodwill. And I appreciate what they do because I have had 3 kids that have grown up in the LISD system. I have a wife that's worked in the LISD system for the last 6 years. So I feel like trying to connect with the community on a level that the Uber Eats and those other guys cannot do. And they don't even want to.
And nor do they want to.
They don't even want to bother with
care.
that, And that's something that, because I do have that ability, and so the increase of competition has challenged me, and it's made me better, and I think it's made my business better because it's opened my eyes to how can I be creative and how can I connect with the community on an even deeper level than what I was doing before. And so I'm getting out and shaking hands and meeting people and going to neighborhoods and putting flowers on their doors. And it's just been a really enjoyable experience to see all these folks and the response that I've garnered from it. And so it's been a real joy over the last few months seeing the response, in my response to the competition.
Yeah. So what's new in your world now?
Well, so we just added Dairy Queen, so we're always adding new restaurants. I'm potentially expanding a little further out.
Okay.
As the growth moves from Cedar Park and transitions into Leander and further out, I'm going to start growing with it.
Good.
Because I know Cedar Park has a cap level at some point, and Leander.
Well, and I mean, and the other part is too, you've got that, I mean, all of them, DoorDash and Uber and all those basically cap out right at 2243 in Leander. So if you want to be the first guy in town,
and so that right there is marketing. I've increased my marketing spend, AdWords. I hadn't done AdWords in several years. I've always done Facebook ads because I've seen that to be pretty effective. But the Google AdWords, I've done that, and I'm increasing that. I've got stands up in all my restaurants. I'm updating those. I'm updating my cards. So what I'm trying to do is stay relevant. I think I've done that pretty well over the 4 years, but there's always opportunities to try to present your case before the customer base and make sure they understand who you are and why you're there.
Sure.
And so being that local guy is the angle that I proudly take.
As you should.
Right, because I am the local guy, and you're going to see me in the grocery store. Our kids are going to go to school together. We're going to go to the same churches. We're all in this together as a community, and we need to support one another. That doesn't mean my own daughter's ordered from Uber Eats. But you know what? Uber Eats will go up and pick a $5 burger up from McDonald's. That's not my business model.
It's just not.
My business model is for a two-person household. You're going to order food. You're going to spend a minimum of $20. And then that way I know that my drivers are going to go and deliver wherever they pick up food from. They're delivering at least $20 worth of food, and they're going to get a decent tip.
Yeah.
Because if I have drivers that aren't happy with what they're geting paid, I don't have drivers, therefore I don't have a business.
Yeah, they're going to go off to one of the other ones.
And so I've hired multiple people from Favor and Uber and DoorDash. Actually, I hired some, because they saw the way the pay structure was set up, and just the way that they treated their employees. And I've got several employees that have been with me for multiple years. Yeah. Because they know I'm fair, and I'm just going to take care of you because you're running my business. I'm the one who's in charge.
Well, I mean, just the simple fact that you actually have any direct relationship with them.
Right.
A lot of those other ones, it's like, okay, it's
that's right.
Just here, you sign up online. You never actually physically meet a human being that's part of that company. You just get a kit in the mail and go start delivering. Have fun. Here's an online training thing.
Sure.
Have fun. Get out of here.
Yeah, and so that's. The funny thing is I get asked by a driver a prospective driver, when I'm about to hire him, and they say, do you have a dress code? And I said, no, just casual. Just don't dress sloppy, but dress casual. And I try to, when I hire someone, I try to use my best judgment, and I feel like I have a good sense of people. And of course, I've missed on it. We all do. We make those poor choices. But I think for the most part, I've done pretty well in picking these folks because I want someone who's disarming. I want someone who's got, you don't feel a confrontation with them, and they just smile, and that's what I tell all my drivers is, we're delivering happiness.
Yeah, they get to eat.
They've ordered food, and they're happy because you're bringing it to them. So don't screw that up. Yeah. Just bring them the food. You don't have to have a long conversation. Just say, hey, here's your food.
Yeah.
Have a nice
Give them a big
evening.
smile.
Yeah, it's really simple. So don't make this more complicated than it has to be. And that's what I think about small businesses. It's you can really overthink it and really complicate it, and when you do that, then that's when you become a corporation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep it simple.
It's all about singles and doubles. Just singles and doubles. You don't need to hit home runs.
I agree. Yeah. Completely. Small ball.
Yeah. Just keep going. Yeah.
Just stay consistent.
Yeah.
And do what you do best. And I think that's really what sets us apart from all those other services is. The customer, when they order from us, they know they're going to get their food on time, they know it's going to be right, and they know if there is a problem, it's going to be corrected.
That's exactly correct.
So it's going to be a good customer experience, whatever happens.
So how, like from the tip perspective with your folks, is it I know some of them you put the tip in ahead of time.
Yeah.
Some of them you put it in afterwards. Some of them have a minimum. How do you work?
Yeah, we don't have a minimum, but yeah, when you place the order, there's an area to tip.
Okay.
And so 95% of the time they tip in person.
Upfront, yeah.
Or not in person, before they place the order. Sometimes 5% they tip in person. One thing I did get some feedback recently was they were happy that we do split checks so people can split their
Oh, that's
payments.
cool. Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
other
I remember
one,
that here. Yeah.
yeah, and then another one was cash. I think
Okay.
Favor doesn't take cash.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to me, I know we're in a technology world, but cash is still cash, right?
Mhm.
And so, we're always going to take cash because that's just the way the world works. You know, you're supposed to, you should take cash. I know credit's a big thing, but so again, another thing that we do that's different because I guess in that corporate philosophy is cash is not what we don't want our drivers
Well,
handling money.
Yeah,
and
they
worrying
don't.
about them
They don't
stealing.
want to. Yeah, they don't want to trust their drivers.
Right.
You know.
So, yeah, and my drivers know when they come get their checks on payday, they're going to give me the cash that they owe me because I know how much they owe me.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no shenanigans going on. Everybody's on the up and up, and we're going to
Yeah.
I'm going to get my cash. You're going to get your check, and we're going to be good. So,
Yeah, life is good.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. So now we do the fast 5 questions.
Okay.
Fast 5 questions. First off, if you woke up tomorrow,
Hmm.
your business is totally gone.
Mhm.
You have a laptop, $500 in your pocket,
Okay.
place to live. What do you do first?
$500 in my pocket, place to live, laptop. I send an email to one of my mentors
Okay.
and ask them for guidance on my next step.
I love it.
Because I have people who I've talked to through the years who are very successful
Mhm.
and they've provided me really solid guidance through the years.
Mhm.
So just to get, I'm pretty confident I could come, I mean, I have multiple business ideas that I've got in my head right now.
Yep.
As an entrepreneur, you don't turn that off.
Little squirrel track. Yeah.
You don't turn it off. And it's a blessing. I think it's a blessing. Some people think of it as a curse, but I think of it as a blessing because
It is.
I'm constantly thinking of ways that I can
Yeah.
improve the business, do other businesses. So, but to talk to someone else, to have a sounding board, to visit with someone and get their ideas of where you might go in that current situation.
So I always tell people I'll never not have a paycheck.
Yeah, no.
You know, it may take me a little bit to get it up and
Sure.
running, but I will never not have a paycheck.
Absolutely.
There's way too many ways to make money
Absolutely.
out there.
Agreed.
What's your biggest entrepreneurial mistake?
I guess probably not taking the outside competition as serious as I should have, when I should have.
Yeah.
I mean, as
Well,
you can tell.
they came on quick though.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it was kind of Grubhub for a while. It was that Eat Out In
Yeah.
originally, and then Grubhub bought them, and then they kind of creeped in, and then all of a sudden it was like this
Right.
big rush.
Well, Uber's done it. I think they've gone about it the right way. DoorDash is completely, they don't have any agreements with restaurants. They just put your menu up and it upsets a lot of restaurants who I've worked with who've been very upset by it. So, you know, not taking all of them seriously. I mean, I took them seriously, but I didn't feel like the challenge would be as great as it was. So I underestimated my competition, but as you can see by our discussion just a few minutes ago, I've taken it much more seriously. I'm reacting. If I had been more proactive, I probably wouldn't have to do as much work on this side, but there's nothing, anyone who's afraid of hard work shouldn't
But
be
it
doing
probably
that.
made you a better business
It
as a
did.
result.
It did. And I think that's really, I'm a positive person, and I believe within any challenge, there's always opportunity. And this has presented a great opportunity for me to grow my business and take it to another level. And so I feel blessed, honestly, that they've challenged me to come out of my shell, think bigger than I was, and let's go. Let's take this on.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What is a good book that you might recommend for an entrepreneur?
I'm a big Dave Ramsey fan.
Okay.
So, any Dave Ramsey book I'll recommend. One book I just recently read by Clown, I can't remember. It's called Boundaries.
Okay. Interesting.
And it's just basically talks about how you set up boundaries in your personal life and your business life and everything that you do. Because I'm definitely not someone who has a hard time saying no.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd read the book because it was Dave Ramsey recommended it, and I read it, and it was eye-opening because you find that there are so many people who don't have boundaries, and they get walked all over. And
Absolutely.
I think in order to be successful in anything in life, you have to have boundaries because, unfortunately, people will try to take advantage of you. And if you don't say no and you don't set that boundary, then they're going to walk over you. And so,
Absolutely.
you've got to establish who you are and what you're there for. And so,
Well, and it makes you a happier, healthier person in the long run.
yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
and I've tried to instill those same values in my kids, understanding that you've got to set boundaries with your friends, with your employer, because they'll want you to work more than you want to work.
Sure.
And you've got to say, no, I can't do that. I've got this set up. I've got
I
tutoring.
haven't set that with myself, unfortunately. I have 2 businesses, and
Yeah.
I haven't set that boundary of stop working,
Right.
but I've got to someday.
Sure.
All right. What's a good tool that you use in your business every day? And it might be, I've had everything from a yellow legal pad to Evernote.
Well, I use the note feature in my phone.
Okay.
And audio. Because you can just record audio notes. I use that when I have thoughts about a business or a thought from my actual business. And so I put those notes in my phone, and I can go back and look at them and say, okay, this is what I was thinking. What are we going to do with this?
Love it. Yeah.
I think the best tool that you have is your eyes and your ears. Observing what others are doing and taking stock of local competition, taking stock of national competition, trying to observe what everybody else is doing. And that's what business is basically anyway. It's doing what someone else has done, but doing it better. And so that really, just being observant to what others are doing and trying to better your business. Even looking at your own business, seeing what you're doing and what can I do better. So that's really a tool.
I think the best advice I ever got, you got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth for a reason.
Yeah, that's right. That's a great point. That's a really good point.
How do they get a hold of you?
Well, they can go to, if they want to place an order,
Yes.
they just go to localeatandrink.com.
Okay.
Or they can go on the App Store or the Google Play Store and download the app.
Oh, sweet.
Just search Local Eat and Drink, and they can download the app and start ordering there. I really look forward to interacting with these folks in the city of Cedar Park and Leander, businesses, residents, because like we've said, this is our community. We're all in this together. We all got to stick together and take care of one another, because that's what community does. And I love being a part of this business community. I love being a part of the personal community, the school community, the church community, whatever it is. This is such a great place to be. And you see it time and time again on the news and the newspaper or whatever about Austin being one of the greatest cities to live in, and Cedar Park is always thrown in as one of the best growing.
One of the top small ones,
Yeah, and so I really count my blessings, knowing that I've lived in Cedar Park for 17 years. We lived in Leander for 5 years before that. So, been out here for the last 22 years and seeing the amazing growth.
It's
It's pretty remarkable.
It's 17-year resident. You're ancient in this county or in this city. So.
Well, I won't bog down in the details, but I did live here back in the 70s.
Okay.
I lived at 620 and 183.
Oh, good Lord. And that
It's
was
changed.
country.
Yeah, that was. So it was a 2-lane highway back then. So it's changed a lot. But since I've been here in the last 20 plus years, to see the growth.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what excites me as an entrepreneur, is that means there's so much opportunity for business.
New bodies, new people moving in.
Constant.
And
so that's why with the challenge that's presented through the other national dealer or national brands that have come in and done food delivery, I go, okay, you can come in and do it, but I've got all these neighborhoods targeted that I'm talking to. I'm working with the school district, I'm working with the fire department, the police department, the city government. I'm working with all these different individual entities because I live here. I can drive up and walk into their facility and discuss it with them. So I think that's a great opportunity to take advantage of, and I fully plan on doing so in the near future.
awesome. Well, Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate you coming out and talking
Appreciate
a
the
little bit
time.
about the business. Folks, we need to support our local businesses. I mean, that's all about what we are. This is a man who is a local business, who started it here in our community, works in our community, supports our local restaurants, and hires people locally. So that fits right into our mission here at T-Werx, which is to, once again, help businesses start and grow in our community, stay and be successful in our community, and hire locally. So let's keep with that. Let's get out there. Let's utilize his services, and let's keep our business local. So thank you guys. We'll see you back here next week. And once again, right down below me is the subscription button and the show notes with his contact information in there as well. And we will be ready to go. So guys, see you next week.